Hey, we made it.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't the whole StreamYard thing. When I do my intro, it lags so bad on my end.
mm,
It just it can't handle it. It puts it out to where it doesn't freeze on camera or on the actual live itself from YouTube, but the StreamYard lags a bit. I noticed that on one-on-ones when he plays videos. A lot of times it'll freeze on him.
yep.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Hey, Mountain Grandma, we got Nathan here. Crazy Irish. Um,
Chef Kicker,
that reminds me, and I don't have it on here. I went and changed it to get that link.
Homestead Aquarius is in here.
Hey, Robert. Let me see if I can find that now. I'm not going to find it.
You know, sitting here all day watching YouTube. Everything that has come up has had our stream on it. Now I click over to it, can't find a damn thing on
Oh, no napping today? Oh no.
it. Who?
Crazy. Didn't get a nap today.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we
You
got
are.
a historic prepper in here.
Well, good
What
evening,
what
sir.
life?
I see that name kind of stuck with heroic prepper.
Everybody's calling him historic now. You might as well just change it. Get it over with. Just change it. You're not heroic anymore.
Sorry, dude. About like going back to school, huh?
Yep.
Well, what is on the agenda for today?
Well, we touched on this before, and you were supposed to bring it up on one of yours, but we changed it, and you you went a different route. But um,
Look,
it's kind of like that. Um, basically, if shift thing happens, and for those if you don't know, shift means
shit hits the
when
fan.
shit hits the fan. So because I've said shift before in a video, and people ask me what it means in the comments and stuff. So get that out ahead of time. Um,
All
like,
right.
do you have like if things get really bad to where there's we'll put it this way, um, power goes out, power grids out. Um, what's your plan to survive that?
Yeah. Oil lamps, candles. That's about it. Because I mean, I reckon, in a matter of speaking, I kind of think ahead a little bit. If you got power and other people are walking around, they're gonna know you got power, and they're gonna want to know what else you got.
Hmm.
You know, so you kind of got to play it safe on top of that.
Yep, you sure do.
I mean, and I hate to say it, but you might as well go get you some black plastic to cover your windows to keep what light you got in from going out.
Well, they make curtains they're called blackout curtains, um, for your windows. But
But
would you trust just having blackout curtains on your windows?
Oh, hell no.
I mean,
Because somebody can walk by them, kind of quick and they'll move a little bit. That's all it would take.
oh no, well they don't move. That's the thing. They're really thick, and if you do it right, they'll stick to the frame of your windows.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm getting at is you have glass there. Is that real? I'm trying to get at is um, you know how back in the olden days we had wooden shutters that if storms got real bad or things turned south, they had a wood shutters where you would latch them shut and stuff.
Exactly.
You don't you see fake ones now that are on the sides of the windows, but you don't see uh, shutters anymore. And is that something that you would think about installing on your house?
Hey, I know a lot of people are not inclined, but if I was to have something like that put on my house, I would have to put them on.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because companies would come in and leave gaps in it and so forth like that. And depending on how you stand is also going to depend on if light's getting through. It's like blinds. You can turn your blinds a certain way and you can see people outside, but they can't see in.
yeah. They make screens that you can see out, but they can't see in. Also,
Yeah.
but I'm more concerned about somebody getting through the window instead of them seeing through the windows. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. But now, if that's the case, you better go buy you some 3/4 plywood, you
Or
know,
or
inside in.
some corrugated metal because
Well,
wood's a hell of a lot more expensive than metal now.
yeah, now you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, like if you have a two-story house, you wouldn't need to put them upstairs.
exactly,
You only
exactly.
you only need the bottom floor. I mean, this is for people who are planning to sit there and bug in, which for me that is almost a certain. That's something that you should be thinking about, not being one of the gun ho persons that, oh, stuff's happening. Hurry up, get our bug out bags, let's go, and leave their whole house full of water or preps or all that stuff. Your first thought should be staying put, and that's just my thought.
Well, that's also my thought. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, a bug out bag. Uh, I don't call it a bug out bag no more. I call it a get home bag. Okay, because if something happens, it don't have to be when a shift thing happens. You can have a flat tire or something like that, you know, and you pretty good ways from the house like that. Or let's say you out in the country and your car dies, you know, you want to get home. If
Yeah, and yes, I've seen the chain link stuff. That would be if you had no other choice. For me, what I'm thinking is something that can't shove a pew pew through, and you know what I mean. Of course, then you can also do the same. So you have to. It's an either or type situation for that, like the chain link fence over your windows.
Now that,
I know they do have the shutters that you just hit a button and they come. That would be the perfect situation right there. The the pull down things.
yeah. Well, let's say that you are out and about and shit hits the fan. One of the main things is to stay off the main road, you know. But you've got when it first starts, you got 24 to 48 hours to get your stuff and get to where you want to go. That's when panic is setting in. After that, people are going to want to start thinking, we ain't got enough food here. We need to go get some, or we don't have enough water. Next door neighbors got some. And that's what one of the things that we've been trying to say is do not store everything you've got in your house. Kind of.
Well, the government tells you that everybody should have at least 3 days of food in their house.
Yeah.
Um, I think the CDC or whatever they say 2 weeks. But
Now,
yeah,
wasn't it?
if you can, I would go more into a year. I mean, if you're just starting, you don't have much choice, but to accumulate as much as you can as possible.
Well, now, have you heard? You probably have. I want to say in Australia, and there was another country that they already having brownouts. Bad.
Yeah.
2 countries. And we have already been told it will happen here.
Oh
So,
yeah. And your own power company tells you they're 10 years ago. Did your power company warn you that there's possible brownouts or blackouts?
no,
That was never a thing because that showed they're liable for it. Nowadays, they're warning you ahead of time that it's possible it could happen this week or something like that. I mean, for the people in like Los Angeles or New York, they probably already that's a normal thing. But in the other states, that it hardly ever happens unless there's a storm. That it was never brought up. Now your power company is sending you notices that um, this month it's possible we're going to have rolling blackouts or brownouts or whatever you want to call them. And
the,
I mean, I get email. That's what I'll get an email saying this, and that's it makes you wonder what's going on.
I'll just about bet you Texas in that area will be the first state to get hit with it. I don't know why, but that's my feeling.
um,
Because don't they have their own down there?
well, we have three grids, main grids. There are sections that are disconnected. There are, and there's kind of like a buffer that goes in the like Michigan and the northern states that go into Canada. That is kind of like a fourth one. But there are three: the East, the West, and Texas.
Yeah, that's the way I
um, and we all know what happened with the ice storm, and they were supposed to update that. Hey,
illusion.
Giggles. There's Giggles.
Hello, Miss Giggles.
But
Illusion paper, I don't think it's because of fuel shortages. Now,
well,
I
some
may
cases,
be
yeah, some cases it is because they use natural
fuel.
gas and propane to generate power.
Yeah,
So
right.
in those cases, yeah, there are shortages, but technically there is no shortages, even though there are some states that you go to the gas pump and they don't have a certain gas. Um,
Sounds like to me somebody needs to slap them and wake them up.
well, here, since we're on the subject here,
How
um,
convenient.
see, I don't know if I should share this because it's here. Let me see if I can shut this.
Giggles overslept today. I ain't even took one yet.
There's a video playing, so I kind of have to black it out.
Ah,
Um, there's
illusion
me
prepper, I
town.
apologize.
Okay, here you go. And there, we're we're being said that told that we're actually having a shortage of. This is why the price has gone up. And now we're actually exporting even more oil, but our prices are still going up. And this doesn't seem doesn't seem right, does it?
Here in the last 4 years, nothing seems right.
Yeah, if you look um, at this graph, I'm not
Except
going to go
for
through the
in
reading part of this and everything, but if you notice here in June, uh, back before all this stuff happened, and then here in and when it first came about, the sickness, you notice how it jumped during that time, even though there was lockdowns and whatnot. If you remember when the lockdowns were, you see how it rose up, and this is crude, clean gas, and dirty products. Um, Now, as you can see, the crude part, this is where they take it to another country and have them refine it to turn it into gasoline. Now, as you see here, this is clean product. That means it's coming from us, already cleaned up, already into ready for gasoline usage and stuff like that. How much it's risen up since our price has gone up in the last this year. Look how much this has gone up. It's through the roof. And yeah, for us as a country, oh, my camera's off. For this as a country that they're saying that our gas we're running low on gas right now because of um, the war and the sickness and everything, but yet we are exporting more oil and gas right now than we ever have. Thank you, Ginger Ninja, for the the super sticker. I appreciate it. Yeah, if I don't see these, make sure you yell at me. Tell me I missed one, because last time I missed like 3 super chats and didn't notice.
Damn, Firefly says gas in her area is 5.05 a gallon now.
Yep. And the thing is, what they base the price of gas on is oil, how much it costs per drum of oil. It hasn't gone up. It's still the same as it has been for the last month or so. So why is the gas still going up? And I had there's a couple theories that's going on, and
I'm sorry, crazy.
one person said, I did. I don't see any.
Yeah, I did earlier. It's probably 5 minutes back.
There it is. The 3-month thing. Okay. Yeah, see, I don't see those on StreamYard. That's weird. Why do StreamYard needs to update their stuff?
Now it come up on my cell phone, but it never showed up in StreamYard.
Yeah, I think I need to do a pop out for my chat.
You know, because I mean, I didn't pay I paid attention to it, but I thought you had a phone sitting right there beside of you.
No.
You know, to catch these things.
Yeah, I'll do it that way. I just do a pop up that way I can see it over there on the side. But yeah, you know there's something going on. And one person said that when the sickness, you guys all know what I'm talking about, and when there was a lockdown, a lot of times when people started going back to work, only one parent went back to work because the other parent stayed home to watch the kids because they did the remote learning. So that meant only one person was going out. And right now there are tons of jobs, even though some say there isn't, but there are a lot of jobs out there for people. And now this is not me or anybody. This is just somebody that I watched on TikTok. This is how he's explaining why the gas and inflation and everything's going up. So you have one worker, one of the family members go out to work. Now that means half of your workforce is at home right now, and the other half is out working. So we're not making enough money. So their plan is we're going to raise everything like gas and all that stuff. Your meat, your groceries and all that stuff. We're going to raise that up to where your other person at home has no choice to go out and go back to work. So you have 2 people earning money, hence paying taxes and all that stuff. And that's what his thinking is, why they're raising gas and all the inflation and all that stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's something to think about. If you only have one person in your house paying taxes, when you used to have 2, the government isn't getting as much money, basically.
Sniffer wants to know why they took away his wrench off of 101 in my channel. And as I'm looking at it, he don't have a wrench on your channel either.
Well, if you guys remember, 101 got a strike, so he's not on his regular channel. He's on his backup channel. So a bunch of people had to get re-wrenched.
Okay. Now, as for me, I have no idea because I'm not taking nobody's wrench away from them. Well, there was one I took. That was TH2. But other than that, I'm not taking nobody's wrench. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's got to be StreamYard doing this shit.
Well, no, StreamYard can't do it.
Oh, they can't?
Nuh-uh. Oh, see, I seen it over here. Thank you,
Pop
Crazy,
up.
for the super sticker. Wait,
about
see,
the
it's been,
time about the
yeah,
time you said it, it popped up.
yeah, and it shows on StreamYard now. It didn't before. That's weird. Okay, now get back on the whole shift thing. Now, now, say you're in your house and whatnot. What they say, if there's no power for 2 weeks, we will lose water. If power's gone for 2 weeks, um, they'll run generators to keep water going for sanitation and all that stuff for 2 weeks. After that, they can't guarantee that there will be enough diesel or gasoline to keep things going.
Avon.
So, what do you have? What do you have planned? And I also want to hear from everybody out in chat too. So you're at home, you're bugging in, and you have no water. What are you gonna do? do you have plans? Do you have water backup water system?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my wells, I can tie a rope or a chain on it and I can get water.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, you're low enough that you could just,
Right.
yeah.
But I also got a water barrel up underneath my shed too. And it's
Yeah.
slammed back full. And I got 2 bathtubs if need be, And then you've got, I hate to say it, but you got the water in your tank, in your commode right there. And then you got your hot water heater, And then you've got, hopefully, you get a rainstorm.
Yeah. And that's where you have to rely on Mother Nature for those things.
Yeah.
Unless you've already have that system in place. And unfortunately, there are some cities and some areas, townships or whatever, that they don't allow you to do rain catchment. And unfortunately, I'm in one of them. But there are ways to. Now, if it's already a shift situation, then you're not going to worry about if you're going to get a fine if you have barrels. And I actually have the barrels. So if something were to happen, I would actually put those out.
Well, also, probably about 3, maybe 5 miles up the road here, like if the power goes out, the community will go up there. It ain't a stream. I can't think of it right now. But that's what, no, it's like
Reservoir?
Is water flowing constantly.
Oh, spring.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
that's where people go and they fill up their jugs and everything else, like that. And I have seen a truck load of 55-gallon barrels come out of there, filled up, you know. And like I said, that's about 35 miles. But when shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
do you really want to be caught in that area? Because it's just about right there beside the road.
The scissors.
What scissors?
I don't know.
Who's got scissors?
It says on his screen. What does the scissors do? I'm assuming it cuts.
I may have said something wrong. I don't know.
I don't know what the scissors are. Oh, that's a clip. You clip it and you can share it with other people. Yeah. Yeah, Crazy got it. Yeah, that's good. The barrel thing, and barrels are not that expensive. You can get the food grade barrels. Like if in my situation, I'm not allowed to do rain catchment, but if things got bad, I would move said barrels out under a spout, and I would start collecting it. And then you're at the mercy of what rain.
Oh shit! Heroic Pepper got it good. He got a 30,000-gallon pool. Well, he ain't going to go dry in a while.
You're the main thing with that though. You have to make sure you have a multiple tiered filtering system because of the chemicals that are in the pool.
Well, now if you ain't got no power or nothing or anything like that, my opinion, your filtration system's not going to work like it's supposed to either.
Well, you need something. The pool filters are it's not going to filter the chemicals. Pool filters only filter debris and stuff like that. That's why I said for swimming pools, it's bad to drink swimming pool water.
Yeah.
You need a way to filter the chemicals out of it because it's meant for one thing. It's meant to
Relax.
keep your water clear and all that stuff.
And if you got a bunch of kids that come over, I guarantee you that somebody's going to pee in
Yeah.
it.
And at least unless you keep it oxygenated, then that water is going to bad anyway. So you got if you do have a pool, that is a great source of water, but you also have to make sure you have a way to get the chemicals out of it. And you have to worry about this stuff too. Yeah, once your power goes out and there's no you have no water going down. A lot of times you have to worry about when you flush in your toilet, you're going to have gas coming in your house. So that's and there are also ways to get water if you're in town. See, I've already talked to the city people because they come through here, and we'll put it this way: they're very talkative when they're supposed to be working. So you can carry a conversation up with them. I found out that my water systems have a check valve so that the water doesn't go back in the system. If anybody knows what a check valve is,
See,
it lets pressure in, so it goes into your house, but you can't. The pressure won't go back through the pipes, so it stops it from going one way. Um, so it is possible if you hook a pump up to the your water. Say the water's been off for a week or so, or whatever the case may be. Depending where you're at, you can actually run a pump, hand pump or battery operated pump, whatever the case may be, and you can get water out of that. In my area, I know where the check valve is. I can probably get about 500 gallons of water before it hits the check valve. And then after the check valve, there I won't be able to get any water because it'll be all dry. And that's one way to get water when the water's already been off. But again, you got to know where the check valves are and stuff. A lot of times, they have a check valve right outside your door, right at the curb. And if that's the case, then you maybe get what 50 gallons, if that.
what the? Oh, never mind. CJ 1975 wants to know: can you run your pool water through a Sawyer or Berkeley?
Um, after you boil it, because um, I that's I don't think it would actually get rid of the chemicals. I would, in any case, I would always boil it anyway just to make sure. But that would be a good Berkey's would be a good thing to have. They're expensive, but there are videos where you can make your own and stuff like that. Yeah, and I did a video, some steps on if the power goes out, how do you get water and this and that, and for people that had wells. And somebody did have a very good, because his well is 270 feet down, and you can't pump that. Not with a hand pump or something like that, because that's just too much weight to pull up. But he is already thinking about that, and he's coming up with a way to, if the power went out, that he could get water out of his well. And that's some things to think about. If you're up on a hill or something, you're hundreds of feet deep to get water, then a regular hand pump is not going to do it.
Oh God, no.
And that's why we talk about these things, is about getting that, thinking about those things. And if you're out in the country, a lot of times you're already going to have generators ahead of time. But as you know, if you just have a small generator, you're not going to be able to hook up your well to it anyway, because it's just 110. A lot of the pumps are 240, 220, or whatever it is. Now, the last thing I was going to get at is when is it your opinion to bug out?
I ain't saying nothing that one. I'm gonna let them say it. Then I'll chime in with my 2 cents.
Yeah, a lot of times people they buy buy all this for their water. They'll buy the bottled water. I have bottled water. I've got cases of bottled water, but I also have other means. Like I said, I've got the barrels ready to go. I've got 5 gallon jugs, which are the water for the water machines. Because if you go to the store to buy a 5 gallon jug in the camping section or whatever it is, with the handle on it and everything, those things are like $25, $30. If you go to Walmart or places like that, they have the 5 gallon of water, and it's only like $12 to $16 for uh, a thing of water. And I don't like the city water here, so we drink bottled water. Um, so as soon as I'm done with that, they want you to bring that bottle back, and you get $5 off your next one. But for me, I just fill it up with water and get it. And I've ordered lids for these bottled waters, and I put a lid on it and I store it in my basement. So every time I use 5 gallons, I put 5 gallons back in it, and it's a lot cheaper than going and buying a ton of 5 gallon bottles and whatnot. Well, I've actually got a rechargeable one, so where I just push a button and it pumps out water. Um, but yes, they do have hand pumps. You pump it in and get the water out of those 5 gallon bottles.
You can get you one of those pumps like they use for gasoline, but make sure it's brand new to go in there and you get the
Oh
water
yeah,
like that.
yeah. These things nowadays you can get them for like $12 um, from Amazon. And historic preppers, I prefer to think of bugging out as a permanent solution. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to go back.
No,
It's to me, once you had to leave your your home, you won't be going back because there would be nothing left, or somebody bad would take it over, and it just wouldn't be worth it.
but just remember, whatever your destination is, you need to have you two or three catches buried along the way.
Hmm.
Water and a little bit of food also.
Yep, I've got mine in 5 gallon buckets.
I never thought
I
about that till I
I
heard you say it.
I actually did that. Did a video on it. Um, I put a few things of water, and you make sure your whatever your water container is, that if it freezes, it expands. So make sure it's nothing not really hard plastic because it'll bust. But the fact that I can put a couple things of water in there, some food, and some kind of lighting or something like that. Um, Dry socks.
Well, make sure in one of those catches you got a single wall cup. That way you can purify your water in it.
Yeah.
If you've got a double wall cup or glass, drill you a small hole in it so the air can escape.
But you should already have that stuff in your bug out bag. But in case you lose that bug out bag, you also want to have that stuff there too. and I have these things hidden in 3 different locations. So if I can't go north, there's no way I can go north, then I'll go east. If there's no way I can go east, then I can go north, or you know, you kind of have to have plan of the backup plans. And when my
Well, also
like I said,
make
when my
sure
kids
you got
were
maps in there too.
um yeah, I mean, like I said, you should already have that stuff with you. And
You should have.
um backup I mean, maps are only good if you know how to read them. So just saying I have a map doesn't mean anything if you don't know how to read a map. So if you're already thinking about that, you should have a
For,
map. You should know how to read a map. Uh, Here's one for you, Jeff.
yeah, I was reading that. I've gotten in touch. Yeah, I'm working on something right now. A little bit here, a little bit there. You know, I'm also at that age to where we don't want to go in debt for anything either. You know,
Google Maps. Yeah.
they're gonna
Um,
be going down. Well,
yeah,
see,
I
old
imagine.
school people
I
like
imagine
Bushcraft and things.
they even if you can recharge your phone and stuff, I imagine that stuff will end up coming back to Earth eventually because there won't be nobody controlling them. And yes, uh, satellites are controlled. They move them wherever they want to, basically. How they do that, I have no idea because there's so many of them up there. Um, but eventually, Google Maps and all that'll be falling. You'll see falling stars all over the place, and that's when you need to learn to to read a map and how many steps is in a mile. How do you determine
Damn,
how far that mountain is over there? Um, Things like that, and
no.
you can learn a lot of that on YouTube. But there are sometimes you can get into classes and stuff like that to learn that stuff.
Well, a friend of mine taught me how to read a topo map, and they are not the easiest things to learn how to read.
Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, they got this thing to where um, if you want to keep track of your mileage, how many foot, how many feet you get a string and you tie a knot for it, how many steps you take, um, determines a mile, and it's different for everybody. So that's something you have to determine yourself. There's um, a roundabout, I guess, what everybody an average, I guess you would call it. Um,
Well, a bag, you need water, you need a tarp, you need about 3 or 4 days of food, depending on how long it's going to take you to get from point A to point B. A few extra items, and I can't say.
Yeah, and like I've done the bug out bag thing, and everybody has a different opinion of what you should have in your bag. The bag should fit you. Is the best way I can say.
Exactly.
Like even your kids can carry them, but you wouldn't want your kid carrying a 150-pound bug out bag. You want the bag to fit the person, and it just I think it's so much easier that way.
Fuzzy
Because
Port, as long as I got my wife with me, I'll never be lost.
was that her?
That was her.
Oh,
Oh, what? Now, I may be a little bit,
did she laugh
but
at you?
as one of them laughs, like, keep it up and I'm going to smack you laugh. So I guess I've been warned.
When my kids were here, and like I said, I have one son here. He's autistic, but when my kids were here, we actually had to play, and we actually did it. It was a fun thing to do. Um, like I would say, everybody be sleeping in the house, and I'm like, I'd yell, scream, we gotta go, run, let's go, and get them all shook up and tell them we had to leave and whatnot. And they would they'd get their bags because everyone had their own different bags. Um, sure, my daughter had a Hannah Montana backpack, but still, she had her stuff in it. And the bigger boys, they had a little bit more stuff to compensate for the smaller ones. But we would go out in a certain area, and this be 3 o'clock in the morning. And I did have the sheriff department called on me a couple times, and I said, we're just doing drills at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're not breaking any laws or anything. We're just doing a little hike and stuff. And they were all fine about it. And but the point is, we went from our house to a location where we all met, and then from there we would just determine where we go from there. And I would say, there's danger over so and so street. How do we get past them? And the oldest son would take over and lead us past the danger, even though there was no danger. But you know what I'm getting at. And we would go, and then we would come back, and when we did our little drill and come back and have ice cream or whatever, and then go back to bed. But the kids enjoyed it, and they all learned something that way. If something happened, and like I said, I don't know if they still know it, but they still have it in their mind. When they were a kid, I taught them how to build a fire, how if you had no water and you found a stream or a mud puddle or whatever, you boil your water and filter it, and then you can drink it. And I taught them those basic things. So hopefully, if something does bad happen, they can survive if they had to. And I think it's a great thing for people with kids to teach their kids.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Now, I think Harvest Mary Moon stated we can't say jack shit on YouTube. I just did. Never mind. Y'all will get it later.
But I think teaching them go hiking and stuff and learning this stuff together, like what plants to stay away from. Don't go near that. Teaching them basic things like what poison ivy looks like. I mean, things like that is I think important. And hopefully, when I'm gone and their kids they're raising their kids and they say, hey, my dad taught me how to do this, and then it goes and goes and goes past that. I would, heroic, but we're getting ready to end here in 4 minutes. But if you didn't know, tomorrow I'll have heroic prepper up on my live tomorrow. You guys want to come by and learn about historic prepper?
And another thing is teach your kids what to eat and what not to eat
Damn.
in the woods.
Yeah. That's important because a lot of times you watch these movies and stuff where youngins or even adults are stuck out in the woods and stuff, and they get hungry and they see something and it looks good. Oh, it's a berry. It must be good. And then they
Could
end
be
up
poisonous.
really sick or worse.
Yeah. Damn.
It's
Listening to us, she has learned right much.
You know that, Jeff.
You know.
Hey, Tino Ladybug.
But about the poison ivy and the poison oak, teaching the kids about that is the number one thing because
Kerosene around the ankles on the sock or something, tied a rag.
because when you got to go to the bathroom, those are the last leaves you want to grab.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Oh, really?
I think he's going to sign it though. With everything that's gone on and everything, I really think he'll sign that
It would
bill.
make sense. You know, the funny thing about it is when they started talking about that quite a few years back, I thought that would be a mistake because the teacher can be overrun and overtaken. Now there's too much shit that has happened. I'm all for it. I really am.
Yeah, I've had teachers that would pick things up, throw it across the room at you. So I was like, I don't know if I want that guy to have anything.
Well, that's true too.
But yeah,
I think I think certain teachers should be able to carry straight up. I don't know about all of them.
Mullen's good for that. For toilet paper. It's really soft and furry, I guess you would call it. They actually call it cowboy toilet paper or something like that. It has a nickname of something about toilet paper, but yeah.
Fuzzy Fort.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, but you stop and think about this. 50 years ago, we didn't see this type of stuff,
Mm-mm.
but there were still those things. They've always been around, but now all of a sudden it's an issue. But I want to thank my mods and thank you for the super chats. And hopefully I didn't miss any this time, like I did
You went
last
back
time.
and got it.
Like I said, tomorrow we'll be over, me and Heroic. I'll be interviewing him. And then Thursday we'll be back over on Jeff's channel. Hard to say what we'll be talking about then.
Anything and everything in the book.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
We always, it's like 101. We always start on one topic and it goes woof, go over somewhere else.
There ain't no telling with him.
well, it's like 101 said, you know, I reckon that's the reason we ain't got a strike as quick as we have.
Ahead.
Well, and that now he does have a string. It wasn't nothing that me or you said. It was, or he said. It was just something that he played.
Oh, was it something that he played?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we weren't in the fault over that. So that's good.
This time.
That's good.
Oh, and I also want to do one thing real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is.
I'm scared.
I probably should have had this already done up ahead of time. Crazy Irish has got the June specials for Thrive Life. She went ahead and made a video of it and everything, even a recipe and stuff. So make sure you guys go over and check that out if you're interested in Thrive Life. The specials they got going on for June. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this. And thanks everybody for dropping in.